Coming up on SUTV News, we'll talk the sheep parade in Cedar City.
And later we'll keep you up to date on when Brian Head's Resort will open for the winter season. Don't go anywhere. Welcome to SUTV News. I'm Anders Henningsen.
And I'm Jesse Anderson. Cedar City locals can once again drive all of Main Street. It was blocked off all morning on Saturday the 26th for the annual Livestock and Heritage Festival's morning parade. Cedar City has proudly paraded sheep coming down Cedar Mountain for the winter on Main Street since 1870. This particular festival embraces Western culture to the fullest, with cowboys and cowgirls out in full force. With the parade beginning at 10 a.m., those in attendance got to see tractors, horses, vintage cars, and some prevalent groups in the community, such as the Women's Quilting Group, Youth Square Dancers,
So I've been in Cedar for a couple of years now,
and other local businesses.
This is my first time attending the festival. I came out here with some friends and family. It was surprisingly warm that day. It's been cold the whole week, and looking forward to doing it next year.
It's Halloween season, which means it's also Scream season. Southern Utah University hosted the annual Scream in the America First Event Center. This year's Scream was based off the movie It. According to SU's website, quote, "The Scream is the best Halloween party in the state. More and more people are attending, and the Scream is earning its reputation as one of the not-to-miss events in the state." Many people came to this year's Scream in costumes. Some notable costumes include Raven from Teen Titans, a boat captain, and a diver. Events at the Scream include a haunted house, as well as spray-on tattoos, free food until midnight, and a dance held at the America First Event Center. However, some students complained about the crowd that showed up.
I really wanted to go to the haunted house, but the line was too long, so I didn't get in. But I think it would have been pretty cool.
Utah attracts thousands of people every year for having the greatest snow on Earth, and Brian Head Resort is one of the many winter resorts in Utah looking to keep that reputation going. The resort offers 71 different runs, a tube hill, dining, and mountainside scenery. Brian Head offers private lessons as well as group sessions to get anyone ready for the slopes. The SUU Outdoor Center has skis, snowboards, and other equipment needed available to rent for all students. Brian Head Slopes will open to the public on Friday, November 16th at 9 a.m. Full pricing information and the resort schedule can be found at brianhead.com. The resort also offers a wide variety of events and activities.
If you're not into the skiing and snowboarding, there's plenty of cross-country ski trails around the area. They've got their sledding hill that's set up. They do a lot of really cool events up there as well, whether it's concerts or movie showings.
A Mill Creek woman is being arrested for reporting a false shooting in Mill Creek. Audra Marie Hanks was arrested Monday for making a false emergency report involving death and giving false information to law enforcement. On Monday night, Hanks called 911 and stated that her and her kids were being shot at by a specific male suspect. The call alerted several law enforcement from the Salt Lake Valley. When officers reached the apartment, they were shocked to see that Hanks was alone and there weren't actually any threats. Hanks admitted to having mental issues and not taking her medication. It's sad to see that mental illness is such a prevalent issue in today's society.
It is one of the major health issues of today, and it is so very sad. So what do you think about Brian Head? Are you going to go skiing?
I'm excited for Brian Head. I'm definitely going to go down the slopes a few times. I might even go visit Park City, but I think Brian Head's definitely the place to go down here in southern Utah.
And coming up, we'll talk about the California wildfires.
Don't go anywhere.
Hi, I'm Special Agent Diana Berrigan from the TV show White Collar. Did you know that it wasn't until 1972 that the first female earned an FBI Special Agent badge? Now, women are helping solve crimes around the world in faraway places like Sarajevo, New Delhi, Lagos, and Tbilisi. To all our women fighting crime at home and overseas, thank you for keeping us safe. Happy anniversary.
Breaking news in Cedar City, Utah, where a few students wanted their voices heard. On September 14th, 3 female students decided to chalk up a wall on 400 South that led to a serious debate with fellow students and locals. The girls had chalked up a wall that showed they wanted support for the LGBTQ+ community, climate change, and women's rights. They felt that change was not really accepted here in Cedar City. The 3 girls did not feel that they did anything wrong. They were also shocked that a few locals took this matter to authorities.
38-year-old Starla Leal and 29-year-old Trevor Manning are now dead after being involved in a car crash on Interstate 70 west of Green River, Utah on Sunday, October 27th, according to the Utah Highway Patrol. Troopers said the two were ejected from a 2003 Ford Excursion as the vehicle rolled after leaving the freeway. UHP officials said the Ford was traveling west near milepost 157 when it left its lane and entered the median's shoulder. The vehicle crossed both westbound lanes before leaving the interstate. Leal died at the scene of the crash, while Manning died at an area hospital due to injuries sustained in the crash, according to the UHP officials.
Californians are preparing for more blackouts as firefighters race to battle wildfires caused by strong winds and dry air. The National Weather Service in San Diego said the region could experience the strongest winds of the season Tuesday night. Monday afternoon, 600,000 customers will lose power in a series of blackouts beginning Tuesday morning. The National Weather Service has also advised residents to prepare for more wind in the coming days. More than 300,000 of those customers could turn their lights back on by Monday afternoon, the utility said in a news release, but it wasn't clear if they will lose power again Tuesday. Days after an announcement came saying that nearly 1 million customers lost their power, Scott McLean of the California Department of Forestry and Fire Protection said, "This, unfortunately, is now California's normal." California fire officials also provided information as to how large the fire is.
Right now we're looking at about 840 acres. You can hear a lot of aircrafts in the background behind me. There's about 6 helicopters, a couple heavies, and about 4 Type 2s, as well as fixed wing. You've seen the DC-7 fly over several times, as well as several S-2s.
Coming from California, it's really tragic to see all these fires coming down. And I can only hope and pray that my friends out there in the Bay Area are all right, and everyone down south and my family in LA are okay as well. Best of luck to you guys. And what do you think about the fires down in California?
They're absolutely terrible, and I really hope very few people get injured. It's terrible what kind of natural disasters we're having that are just getting more and more intense, it feels like.
Yes, and I think a good attribute to these fires is the dryness of California. I think that's a huge factor to it, and it's really sad to see that California is just always burning up.
And also, all of the wind there is able to catch the embers so that the fires can go over more and more territory, which is just absolutely horrible.
So what did you think about the Sheep Festival?
I thought the Sheep Festival was fantastic.
How's the weather looking, Michaela?
It's been cold the last few days, but that should be changing soon. Don't go anywhere.
Don't let E. coli mosh with your food. An estimated 3,000 Americans die from a foodborne illness each year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So always separate raw meat from vegetables. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
Listen up. Each year, hundreds of promising research studies go unfunded for breast cancer, for lung cancer, every cancer. The American Cancer Society has been behind nearly every breakthrough in recent history. But there's still more work to do. So let's make sure that no research is silenced. Let's make noise. Let's make noise. Yeah. And let's finish the fight.
Welcome back to SUTV. I'm Michaela Munford, and this is your current weather. It's a crispy 32 degrees outside right now, and because it is Halloween, I just want to advise everyone, whether you are passing out candy, going to a party, or taking your kids trick-or-treating, make sure you're bundled up and staying warm, because it is going to be cold tonight. We've got 32 degrees right now at 10 o'clock in the morning. That sun's going to set about 6:34 p.m., so that's when it's going to get really chilly. We've got a little bit of a breeze coming in from the northwest, and humidity is about 21%. Good news, you don't have to worry about any rain tonight. Let's go ahead and get the full perspective with a 10-day forecast. All right, so we've got today, which is Halloween, of course, high of 53, a low of 20. We've got a little ghost and a pumpkin there keeping us company as well. We've got pretty low temperatures in the nights. It's going to be below freezing for the next 10 days every night. So get that heated blanket from Walmart you've been looking at. It's a worthy investment. We're going to be seeing some 50s, high 50s, really low 60s for the daytime, which is not too terrible. Should be just a light jacket weather, Not bad for cedar. It's not too cold yet. And I know what everyone's really waiting for is the weekend weather. Everyone always wants to know if they're going to be able to do their plans this weekend. So this weekend, it's going to be pretty warm during the days. We've got 57 on Friday with a low of 20. That's going to be a cold night, so make sure you get your plans done during the day. Saturday, we've got 59 and 28. Once again, chilly. I know I'm being repetitive, but it's cold out there, guys. Sunday, it's 63 and 30, so 63 is one of the highest temperatures we've seen lately. So go ahead and go out on Sunday, enjoy that. That should be great. I'm looking forward to that. That's when I'm going to have my plans. But that's what I've got for you guys today, so.
Thanks for the weather update, Michaela.
So even though it's absolutely chilly, we are the most outdoorsy school in the nation, and I think as a firm believer of this, we should spend as much time as we can outdoors. And that's why any time is a great time to not only fly a kite, but also to play football or to do whatever you can outside. And so what do you think you'll be doing for these next couple days?
Hopefully I'll be getting outside, walking around, enjoying what little warmth we have while it's still left.
Thank you so much. Luke, what do we have coming up in sports?
Coming up on SUTV Sports, we've got a recap of SU football. Stay tuned.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
I'm hungry. I can't see the board.
Good morning, class. Everyone ready to learn today?
Of course they aren't ready. Across America, health barriers keep millions of disadvantaged school children from learning. Children's Health Fund is working to remove those barriers. But to really change the odds for these kids, we need your help. To find out how you can give every child a chance to be healthy and ready to learn, visit childrenshealthfund.org today.
Welcome to SUTV Sports. I'm Luc Verschuren. SUU football is celebrating after their strong performance against Idaho State, coming away with a 59-34 win. Sophomore quarterback Chris Helbig put on an MVP performance against the Bengals with a 20 of 25 passing performance for 268 yards and 4 touchdowns. Helbig also contributed to the run game of SUU as he got his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. The Thunderbirds were also on the other end of a first quarter scoring run for the first time all season, as they scored 28 points in the first 15 minutes of the game. The defense also had a strong showing, with Nila Otokulo snagging his 3rd interception of the year, while Carlton Johnson returned 2 interceptions for 67 yards and a defensive touchdown. Sophomore running back Thomas Duckett also put on a solid performance as he carried the ball 14 times for 90 yards and a touchdown. The T-Birds are now 2-7 on the season as they will play against Montana State this weekend. After the game, head coach Mario Warren was proud of the effort his team put in.
They want to finish the season the right way, and it's on them. They had a players-only meeting, and I thought it was probably the most productive one we've ever had. And I'm really grateful to have these young men and these coaches behind us, because it was a great team victory. Offense, defense came through, made a field goal early in the game to keep that 3-point distance. And so I just really appreciate everybody and appreciate the crowd that came out. We've had a tough year, and we had a lot of guys out there, a lot of people out there supporting us. So thank you, Cedar City.
The Thunderbirds will now prepare for their game this weekend against the Montana State Bobcats. The Bobcats are currently ranked 15 overall in the FCS and the 5th in the Big Sky Conference, standing with an overall record of 5-3. Despite their record, the Bobcats will enter the game coming off a 2-game losing streak with a 21-34 loss at home against Sacramento State and a 12-16 loss against the North Dakota Fighting Hawks. The last time the Thunderbirds and the Bobcats played each other was back on November 6, 2016, here in Cedar City. The T-Birds won that contest 38-21. One player to watch will be Carlton Johnson, who was named the Root Sports Defensive Player of the Week after his performance against Idaho State. The game will be broadcast by Root Sports at 12 p.m. SUU fans are now looking forward for basketball season to start after the men's and women's team held their annual basketball bash in America First Event Center at 7 p.m. The night began with a 3-point contest won by senior guard Rebecca Cardenas, who hit 15 3-pointers in 1 minute. This was followed by scrimmages by both teams. Looking forward to the basketball season, the first men's game is on November 5th at 7 p.m. against Bethesda College. The first women's game is on November 1st at 6:30 p.m. against Ottawa Spirit in the America First Event Center. That's all I've got for you today. For SUTV Sports, I'm Luc Verschuren.
Update, Luke. It's great to hear about our teams winning, especially after the long losing streak we've had in football. So to give it to the Idaho Bengals is really something great, and I'm proud of those guys out there.
Definitely. And also our Lady T-Birds in volleyball have been doing
well.
really good. And I can't wait to see them play even more games and hopefully win a lot more.
Yeah, especially with the volleyball team getting close to playoffs. It'll be great to see them win it all. And coming up, we'll tell you why the state of Utah is in for a big surprise in 4 years.
Don't go anywhere.
At what age is the color that your skin was meant to be no longer beautiful? Every year, millions of young women try to change the skin they were born with and say they'd die for darker skin. Sadly, some actually do. Melanoma is the second most common cancer in teens and young adults, and one person dies from melanoma every hour. Change your thinking, not your skin. Stop tanning. Learn more at spotskincancer.org. A message from the American Academy of Dermatology.
Here's your check. Oh, you got it. You know, since I got rid of my car, I really enjoy walking.
Okay. God, no.
Getting pulled over for buzz driving could cost you around $10,000 in fines, legal fees, and increased insurance rates.
Oh, you're home early.
You live with your mom?
That'll set your game back a few years. Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
With growing concern over climate change, students at SUU are taking action through the Sustainability Club. One of the many issues with climate change is fast fashion. Fast fashion is a term for clothes that are produced quickly and go out of style fast, causing more waste. The club members are taking on this challenge by having a clothing swap on November 14th in the living room from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Next Wednesday, the club will be going to the Red Acre Farm to learn more about how they can create their own garden.
This year in Sustainability Club, we've worked on all sorts of projects. We started the year off with a climate strike and had a ton of people attend from all over the area and St. George, and it was awesome. Right now we're working on putting together a delegation to send to a UN conference in New York in February. We're working on a community garden and a clothing swap, all sorts of good things.
The garden will be located across from the Eccles building and is planned to be up and running by this summer. The Sustainability Club meets every Wednesday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. in the library, room 201, and all are welcome to participate.
The Utah Jazz have started the NBA season out hot, but it was an announcement made before their first home game that had fans excited. Our reporter Connor Aced has the story.
Vivint Smart Home Arena and the Larry H. Miller Court originally opened in 1991.
In 2017, Vivint Smart Home Arena went through a $125 million renovation. Now, that renovation is paying dividends for the Utah Jazz.
It's my honor to announce the 2023 All-Star Game will take place here in Salt Lake City.
This will be the first time in 30 years that the NBA holds the All-Star Weekend in Salt Lake City, with its last appearance in 1993 featuring stars such as Michael Jordan, David Robinson, Hakeem Olajuwon, and Dominique Wilkins.
The 1993 All-Star Game was very exciting for me, for my family, for our fans, and for the whole community. It was an electric and thrilling experience, and one that I will always remember.
The Jazz also had their own All-Stars in the game, as John Stockton and Karl Malone both started for the West.
Thank you, Utah Jazz, for the co-MVPs of this year's All-Star Game, Karl Malone and John Stockton.
One concern for Utah hosting the event again is the city's ability to host large events. However, the state has had its share of successful large sporting events.
I'll just mention some of the things we've done as the state of sport here in Utah. We've hosted, this is all recent, the Supercross World Finals, the FIS World Ski Championship, the Dew Tour Action Sports, the Red Bull Rampage, the Ironman World Championships, Major League Soccer All-Star Game, of course, the granddaddy of them all, the 2002 Winter Olympics. And we've just been named by the USOC, in fact, to host the Winter Olympics again the next time America has that opportunity, which is probably 2030 or 2034.
Because of the 2002 Olympics hosted in Salt Lake City, local political leaders are confident in the sporting event succeeding in Utah again.
Those Olympics set the bar quite high for future games, and we are in large part very excited because the spirit of the Olympics has never left the residents of Salt Lake City or Utah.
We're committed to make sure that this is the best All-Star game ever hosted by the NBA any place.
Although the event will not take place until 2023, the announcement has many Jazz fans excited and already clamoring for tickets. For SUTV News, I'm Connor Aist.
Jazz win the opener.
All right, I think we can all say we had a pretty good sports weekend.
Absolutely.
Personally, I went to the game against Idaho State, and I really liked it. Especially at the first half, it was really good. How do you think about it? Did you went?
Yes,
to the
I
game?
did go. I was selling programs with the hockey club, so shout out to the hockey club. It was an amazing game. I had my doubts, but they scored rather quickly and put my doubts to rest.
Yeah, it was really good. Really nice.
Yeah.
Besides that, I also went to like the Scream Party. You know, you talked about it at
Yeah.
America First Trade Center. Like, it was crazy. How did you dress? Did you go? And
Yes, I did
as
go.
what?
I went as a prisoner, thank you.
Thanks for tuning in. That's all we have for you. I'm Jesse Anderson.
I'm Luc Verschuren.
I'm Michaela Munford.
And I'm Anders Henningsen. Be sure to tune in for the Halloween Others show.